Now we in July. In early July, we're getting Bamboo Memory plus the reruns of Ignodictus, the SSR Guts, and the Yukino Beej and the SSR Wit. Bamboo Memory, the runner, kind of an insane late surger for the miles and sprints. Growth bonus is really nice for those tracks. Her innate skills are mile and sprint heavy, like sprint corners, pumped and full of vigor is a few. Her unique is really interesting, excel. All you have to do is be in the second half of the pack after the final corner and surpass another runner. This could scale depending on the runners you pass up to 3 times. It's pretty good. She got some really good aptitude for running as well. Her medium could be rough, but you could still pull her up there if you want to do it. But her longs is kind of meh. Comparing it to other XLs like Pump, Beyond, or Redshift, it's still up there. It still can be used. Just saying. In my opinion, if you enjoy Bamboo Memory, or if you need like a pretty nice miler / sprinter options that surges, this could be for you. Otherwise, you could skip. The reruns, I'm just gonna speed run this. Dictus, don't worry about her. Beejin, you only need 1 copy, and the only reason why you need 1 copy is because everything is basically out her kit at 0 LB. No Stopping Me is a really good gold skill, is a really good excel. Out of like Unity Cup and this card, we're only going to see No Stopping Me on runners. We're not going to get another card in the game with No Stopping Me, and that's all the way to like JP. The latest SSR speed card of Admire Groove from now, there is no other card in the game that gives us No Stopping Me. So you don't really need this card to be at 1 LB or 2 LB, but if you do get her up there for free, then why not? Just saying. Anyways, in early to mid-July, we get Capano Ricky, the runner, and the Manhattan Cafe SSR Stamina, the barista version, and the Seon Sky SR Wit. Capano Ricky, it's an insane front dirt run. I don't know, she's just crazy. She's a crazy horse. Her unique allows her to increase her speed and acceleration that scales the amount of greens skills she activated. It just procs after the second half of the race, so it could proc between the mid to late race. So this is a mid to late race unique, which is pretty nice. She has some pretty good skills within her kit that's mainly towards the dirts, like top pick. She has medium corners in her kit, I believe, and she has a really nice growth rate for, you know, a front / dirty option, so deck building on her is pretty flexible. But then again, she's an innate dirt runner. Bring her turf might be challenging, but not impossible. Again, if you have enough sparks for it, you could probably bring her. Her ultimate effect is pretty generic, but the cost for making it perform is the use of green skills, which in some positions not really preferred besides fronters and maybe chasers. Other than that, she's still honestly an insane runner, probably replacing or contesting Falco for the front runner position for dirt tracks. The Manhattan Cafe SSR Stamina, the barista version, unlike the other SR and SR version, this one gives us a golden recovery skill of Calm Mind. I think this is a mid race recovery long option, so kinda meh. Its features outscale both the previous stamina versions in some regards, such as she has a higher training effectiveness, and she does give us a skill point bonus, which is again more needed in future scenarios. Though she has a low race bonus, so might not be considered for race heavy scenarios, but a race heavy scenario is manned. I don't think we're getting another one. And her special priority is lower compared to the other 2 versions. Not a bad card option to have, especially if you don't have access to like Creek, but then again, it's not that big, so you could most likely skip and save. I don't think this card option is that that wild. The Seon Sky SR Wit. This is a nice filler option if lacking a frontal related Wit card option. She is still an SR that needs to be MOB to be effective or consistent, but then again, she's an SR, you might find this option later, and she does have some really good stuff implanted in her kit, and she has some really nice features. If I remember correctly, she also comes with a skill point bonus, which is really nice. So seeing her while you're pulling is not bad, not going to lie with ya. To mid to late July, we're getting another big banner. We're getting the Grand Lie Smart Falcon plus the Light Hello SSR PAL card and the Agnes Tachyon SSR Speed. Smart Falcon, the runner, I would say a direct upgrade to her previous in terms if you're running her on dirt. She gives you a lot of dirt related skills such as like aim for the center, which is a pretty consistent late race excel, forward march and all that. Her unique is a mid to late race speed increase that also works as a recovery only on dirt tracks though, unlike the other one where you got a challenge to go into the front position and it will proc. I would say she's not bad, but then again, she's mainly viable for the dirts. If she is not an Oshi, you could just straight up skip this runner. And if you wanted a horse for the dirt option, you should have just pulled for Ricky. The Light Hello SSR PAL card. This is the scenario link card for Grand Live. The events are nice, returning stats, energy, skill points, etc, etc. It's a PAL card, so you already know. But more importantly, this card gives us access to a currency called performance tokens, which is going to be a currency within Grand Live, which is probably going to be really important. And still, it's a PAL card, so it's really good. I see like even at 0 to like 1 LB, this card could still prove to be viable because what it gives you. But if you can, MOB this option, MOB the option, you just get more shit from it. Otherwise, hopefully you get her during the free 60 pulls. The Agnes Tachyon SSR Speed card is a very nice speed card for the Pacers. She gives us options like the golden skill Unstoppable, which is a mid-race speed increase at a random point. Her special priority is fairly high, and another crazy thing about this card is the feature of a +2 skill point bonus instead of the standard +1. And as a speed stat stick, this even contests to some options like Kita and Maru, sort of a little bit under, but you know, it's still up there. I would suggest to invest everything you have into this banner, because not only are you gonna leave with a pretty viable SSR speed card that will last you quite a while, you will leave with a scenario link card for the rest of Grand Live. So to be fair with you, if you MLB both options, you really have no reason to pull on Grand Live support cards until like Ramanu or some other option that you will need later on in the future. Either way, in mid to late July, we're getting the Steampunk winning ticket in Narita Taishin plus a Tokai Teo SSR Wit and the Twin Turbo SSR Guts. Winning ticket, the Steampunk runner, she's a pretty good searcher option for the mediums and longs. So she has some nice velocity increases that mainly works on up and down hills, so it triggers between those, and her ultimate is pretty interesting. It's a velocity increase gamble during the final straight. While going to the front, her speed increases, and that scales depending on how many skills activated during the unique activation, stacking up to like 3 times. Its output is comparable to other late race velocity skills like Behold or Triumphant, so pretty good. The only downside about the runner is she kind of lacks excel within her kit, sort of like her original, and her growth rate is kind of meh. Deck building around her could be tedious if you don't have the right cards, so kind of not a bad search options, especially if you know she. If you know she for Tikazo, please pull for Tikazo. Uncle Ticket deserves more fans, I'm not gonna lie. The Narita Taishin, the Steampunk skin, her unique, is a pretty consistent backliner velocity increase only needing to be in the middle of the pack on the final corner during the second half of the race. It procs during the late race corner, giving you a pretty big velocity increase. She has some really nice excel within her kit, like nimble and from the brink, though her growth rate is kind of meh. Might need to adjust cards and decks, so kind of meh compared to other backline options. I'm not even sure if this is better or if I even rate it over her OG in terms of what she's losing slash gaining. I personally would skip this banner. There's honestly no point on pulling either your options unless they're Oshis or you like the skin. I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, the Tokai Teo, the SSR Wit. I like the art of this card, I'm not gonna lie. This is another way to get the Professor of Curvature, Prof. This is another way to get Prof within the kit besides Kita. It's a good filler wit option with a fairly high output. Her unique is very cool. It's a scaling training effectiveness based on the total bonds or the gauge of your bonds of the supports. Only downside card about this, it kind of lacks race bonus and it kind of lacks special priorities. As filler, this card could be nice or another general option besides Kita-san Black. This is mainly a luxury card. Very much a luxury card. Pull if you have the carrots to burn, otherwise I recommend just skipping. The Twin Turbo SSR Guts. She has a pretty high special priority with a nice speed and power bonus. She also gives us a skill point bonus. Her unique is pretty interesting. It's her friendship training that scales with the more times you perform friendship training, I believe. Her gold skill is called 1000% output, which is a front runner skill. It's a consistent velocity increase at the cost of stamina, which is in that bid. It's a mid race skill, I believe. Mid to late race, I believe. It's a decent gut option for fronters, and its gold skill is fairly good and consistent, but the card itself is not a must-have. If needed for the deck, you could just borrow unless you have the carrots to burn to free your borrow slot. And even at that point, I still don't think it's that worth to invest in. Mainly a luxury pull, not gonna lie.